Hello and welcome to Deborah Cowell Yoga. Today's class will be a chair flow class, and perhaps it is difficult for you to get down onto the floor. So we're going to be using a chair and 2 blocks if you have them. So we're going to begin our practice, and you may want to rest your feet on these blocks if your feet don't quite touch the floor, so you can just rest your feet and sit on the edge of your chair so that you can let your breath expand. And place your hands with the palms facing up. We're going to start by just closing our eyes and just take a few minutes to find a comfortable position. So you may want to just find your sit bones here and start to lengthen out through the spine, taking the shoulders down the back, lengthening out through the crown of the head, and maybe just tipping your chin ever so slightly. And just coming to your breath. So just noticing perhaps how you're feeling right now. So noticing your external body as well as your internal self. And just noticing anything that you may be feeling. You might be feeling a little low on energy, or maybe you're feeling tight in the back or in the neck. So without internalizing too much on those things, just notice them, just witness what you're feeling. And then perhaps just let it go for now. Start to notice the quality of your breath as you move in and out. So grounding down through the sit bones, feel the energy rising as you inhale. Right up through the spine, through up to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, bring that energy back down, spiraling down through the spine, down to the sit bones. And then inhaling and lifting again. And then exhaling, coming back. So you might start to notice a gentle lifting of the heart as you inhale. As the spine lengthens, the heart lifts. And then as you exhale, surrendering back down to the earth. So you may feel a gentle rocking in the pelvis area as you inhale and as you exhale. So just starting to wake up the spine, wake up the pelvis. Getting that energy moving up and down into every cell of your body. So you might want to start to make those movements a little bit bigger. As you open and close. And then coming to stillness, we're going to just very slowly start to open our eyes. So exhaling the hands down, we're going to inhale and just lift up with the breath. And then slowly with the breath, coming back down again. So inhaling and lifting. So try and coincide the movement with the breath as you exhale. And maybe just noticing the sound of your breath. So you might start to hear your breath as a soft whisper. As you exhale, and then bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to place our hands on our knees now. And we're going to just begin with a few cat-cows. So I'm going to move my chair to the side so that you can see. So placing your hands on your thighs, and we're going to just begin by inhaling and lifting the nose up, lifting the tail up. And then exhaling and rounding as we come back. Drawing the navel in to the spine and inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Inhaling forward. And exhaling, coming back. So moving with your breath. And then coming back to stillness, I'm just going to move my chair again. So just take your feet a little bit wider now, and again sitting on the edge of your chair, and place your hands on your thighs, and we're just going to inhale and then exhale, drop the shoulder down, taking your gaze to your left elbow and inhaling, coming back up. And then exhaling and dropping, taking the gaze up to the right elbow. Again, inhaling up. And exhaling and dropping. And inhaling, coming up. And exhaling and dropping. And coming back up one more time. And then we're going to start to circle. So just inhaling as we come back and exhaling as we come forward. Inhaling as we come back and exhaling as we come forward. So just moving with the breath, just feeling the fluidity of the body. Starting to wake up the hips a little bit. the arms, the shoulders. So you can exaggerate that movement however you like. You can make it any way you like to make it. And then coming back, and we're going to start the other way. So inhaling, coming back, and then exhaling and coming forward. Inhaling and exhaling. So this is good if you suffer from many different things, actually, from constipation perhaps, or maybe if you're a woman, if you have PMS, this is a very good thing to do, just to relieve that if you have digestion upset. So coming back and then rolling back up, and we're going to come with our feet again on the floor. So we're going to begin, actually I'm going to move to the side of the chair now, if you could do that, and just sit on the edge with your feet planted on the floor. And we're going to just take our left hand up and bring it down on the back of the chair on the edge. And then inhale, lift up the right arm. So we're finding length in the spine here. And then we're going to come into a nice twist. So just take your hand somewhere on the chair. You don't need to pull yourself into this twist. Just let your spine take you there by itself. So just supporting yourself with the chair. So finding length in the spine, and then as you exhale, you can maybe go a little deeper. But just stay where you're feeling something, but not where you're feeling any pain or tension. And again, if you would like to use a block, you can place this right between your knees here. Should have done that at the beginning, but this keeps your knees from going in towards each other so that you can keep your hips pointing forward. And then inhaling and coming back. And we're just going to turn to the other side of the chair. So I find this block is very useful for these sitting postures, or if you have a book, that would be fine too. So inhale, lift up your right arm and take it down to the back corner of your chair. And then lift up the left arm, finding length in the spine. So really reach up out of the body and then exhale and start to twist. So again, just place your hand on the chair, inhale and lengthen, and then exhale and come in to the twist. And again, just let your spine take you there. And then start to soften and breathe. Once you find that place where you're feeling something, but not too much, and then just stay with it. And then inhaling, coming back, and we're going to come to the front now. And again, sitting on the edge of the chair. And we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. And then we're going to bring our hands together and just come right down the midline of the body, all the way down to the floor. So if you don't quite reach the floor, you can rest on a block, or you could even maybe have your blocks here and just rest here or here. Whatever works for you. So it doesn't really matter as long as you're somewhere. So again, it's not really the end of the journey, it's the getting there. So just enjoy this moment wherever you are today. So maybe just nod the head back and forth, yes and no. Just releasing the head. Releasing the shoulders, lower back. And just coming back to that breath. And then inhaling, and we're going to come up, use your blocks here, inhale. Lengthen out through the spine, and then exhale and fold. Again, inhale. Taking the shoulders down the back, and exhale and fold. And then inhale, come back up. So just roll up vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up. Just like a rag doll coming up, bringing the head up last, and then opening up the heart. And again, just take a moment to notice how you're feeling here. And then we're going to actually come into chair pose, which should be relatively easy because we're already on a chair. So coming to the edge of the chair and placing your hands on the chair. Just think of kind of leaning forward just a little bit and lifting the heart. And then we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. So if your shoulders are really tight, they're going to be out further, and that's fine. And if you rotate your pinkies inwards, it will take the shoulders down the back. So try and bring, if you can, bring your arms alongside your ears. And if not, then just open up here and just breathe. And then we're going to take our hands to the heart center. Inhale. And then exhale and come into a nice twist. So again, you can keep your block here if your knees want to travel inward or outward. And then just stack your elbows, one on top of the other. The hands together. And if you can take your thumb to your heart center, just feeling your heart. So your gaze can be down, or it can be somewhere in the middle, or it could be looking up at your elbow. And if that feels good, you could drop your lower hand down and then take the left arm straight up and breathe. So really opening up here. And then bring your hands back to the heart center and come into the middle and inhale, reach up. And then exhale, bring the hands back down to the heart and come into the twist. So stacking the elbows one on top of the other and bringing the thumb to the heart center. And if that feels good, you can drop the bottom hand and then lift up with the right. Taking the fingers up towards the sky. And then bring your hands back down to the heart and return to the center. And exhale and release. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to come into a standing pose because we've been taking a lot of the energy down. So now we're going to stand up and get that energy moving upward. So we're going to come to the front of the mat and just stand in Tadasana. So just find your feet for a minute with your toes pointing forward and just open up here. So inhale. And exhale, just bring your hands to your heart center. And we're going to step back. Actually, we need a couple of blocks. So bring your blocks to the front of the mat. And then just step back with your left foot. So you want your hips pointing forward here and have your toes spread open wide. And your back foot just slightly turned out at the back. And start to draw up from the kneecaps all the way up. So really engaging those quadricep muscles and starting to draw inward with the two legs. And you might find this a little difficult at the beginning, so you could take your stance a little wider here if you like. And have your block somewhere on the outside edge of that foot. Then we're going to inhale and reach up. Finding length again, and then we're going to hinge forward from the hips. So coming forward, reaching out, really grounding down in that back leg, engaging the legs, so keeping the muscles very active here, and then coming to the block. So inhaling and lengthening out, lengthening, really, really engage the legs, and then exhaling and folding. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and fold. So if this is too much for you, you can use a chair. So if you want to use the chair to lengthen out and then exhale and fold. So if you're right here, that's fine too. And then inhale, coming up, and then exhaling and coming forward. Inhaling and coming up. And this time we're going to exhale and come down and just stay here for a few breaths. And then inhale, come back up, bend the front knee, and then step to the front of the mat. Grounding down, find your feet, and we're going to step back with the other foot. So taking the right leg back this time. Find your feet first, have your hips pointing forward, and start to draw those legs in again. Really drawing up from the kneecap, really engaging the top of your legs here. And then inhaling, reaching up. And then coming forward, hinging forward from the hips. So grounding down in through the back leg actively, and then coming down to the blocks. Reaching out, inhaling. And then exhaling and folding. Draw the navel in. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and fold. One more time, inhale. exhale and fold and stay here for a few breaths. And then inhale, come back up, bend the front knee, come all the way up and step to the front of the mat. So from here we're going to just practice on a little bit of a balancing pose and strengthening the front of our legs. So standing nice and tall again, grounding down through the feet. And we're going to take all the way into the left leg. So really keep that leg active. And we're going to start to just bend the right leg. So keeping the hips in line with each other. Keeping the spine nice and tall. So don't start to fall back, just stay nice and steady here and then lift the front foot forward. So actively engaging both legs now. So it doesn't matter how high you are off the floor, you could be down here. It doesn't matter about the height so much. And just stay with the breath. And then bend that leg and come back down. Take a breath and then just switch it up to the other side. So grounding down through the right foot now, feeling the earth. And then lifting up with the left foot, keep the foot engaged. And then exhale and take it out. So again, really grounding into this supporting leg. And if you like, you can take your hands off and maybe balance here a little bit. Wherever you would like to be today. And then exhale and bring the foot back down. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come into Virabhadrasana 3. And you can use your chair or your blocks, whatever you choose to do. But this is a good way to start off. And sometimes you can use a wall too if you like. So it's somewhat of a difficult pose to learn because you're incorporating balance and strength and keeping your focus. So starting off in Virabhadrasana 2, opening your feet about the length of your arms and then coming down. Make sure you can see your big toe. And then we're going to reach out a little bit here. Put your hand on your chair and then start to bring the back leg forward. So you want to keep your front foot forward and you want to keep your hip in line with your leg here. So you can start off with your hand on your hip, and then if that feels good, you can open up your chest and then take your arms straight up here. And breathing and smiling all at the same time. And then to come out of this, you can bring your hand back to your hip, bend the front knee, and then just come back down into Virabhadrasana 2. So the wall is there as kind of a support until you get used to doing this. So you could also use a block, and you could just reach back and find where your foot is touching the wall. So you could measure it just by getting down on the floor, but then again you have to get down on the floor, so you could do it standing just by taking your foot back and seeing where it's landing. So So here's about good for me. And then have your block there. Take your back foot to the wall. Come into your Virabhadrasana 2. And then start to come forward. Take your hand to the block and lift up. So you can use that wall for support in this pose so that you can get the back leg supported against the wall and then opening up the chest. So it's a good progression. It's a difficult pose to learn, so don't give up. It can be done. And enjoy it. So again, to come out of this, just bring your hand back to your hip, bend your knee, and then step back. So maybe try not to try too hard. And then come back to your mat. And we're going to finish in Shavasana, so you can come down, if you can, to lying on your mat, or just come back to your chair and sit down on your chair. Again, with your back away from the chair so that you can breathe fully. And just come back to your breath. Close your eyes. And again, just maybe notice how you're feeling right now. Start to soften your face, soften your eyes. Soften behind your eyes, your forehead, your jaw, your neck, any place that you may still be holding on to your tension, just let it go. Just knowing that this moment is the only moment that really matters. And just being very thankful that you took this time out today for yourself to do your yoga practice. So just coming back to your natural breath, just sinking deeper and deeper into the mat. Letting everything soften. So you can stay here for as long as you like with your breath. But I'm going to say goodbye now and finish my practice. So namaste. Until the next time.